Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Connecting Culture Show. Also, welcome the people from Nogales. We are here on the Nogales stage for the Mingus tribute with, McPherson, the jazz band, and also Mr. Alan Hershowitz and his group will be here to take care of all of the jazz that you guys are going to be enjoying here today. All right, my name is Eddie Rodriguez, producer and host of the Connecting Culture Show, and I am privileged. I'm really excited to hear the Mingus Band tribute today here in
Mingus
this look.
Mingus Dynasty.
Yes, there you go. So, without any further adu, let's get Mr. Ken T over here for 1 minute to introduce him. He is the man that's in charge, and this is Alan Hershowitz and his group, which will be here. Mr. Ken T, please tell us a little bit about what's going on here today and how it was first started. Who started that?
Yeah, we started back in 1993. Yvonne Ervin got it going.
Right.
She was the president of the Tucson Jazz Society.
There you go.
Which extended into Green Valley. She got that started.
Right.
And then she got this Mingus thing going. And so in '93 we had a Mingus festival in Tucson, in Green Valley, in Nogales, Arizona, and Nogales, Mexico.
Lovely, man.
Yeah.
So it extended pretty much, huh?
Oh yeah. It was totally southern Arizona.
But
he was born here.
He was born here. Yeah. No wonder. Okay, so now I understand.
That's why it's called the Hometown Jazz Festival.
Now, how many festivals have been since that time to now?
Well, we had a hiatus there in the late '90s, but we've
another one
since
last
08.
couple of years, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah, and the
08,
last
and
two
then
because of COVID. Yeah.
Yeah, we started back in '08, and then the pandemic, of course, squelched a little bit. But we're back on rolling.
Oh man, well that's great. And this is Alan Hershowitz, who's a group leader that's with his group here today. And Alan, tell us a little bit about you.
Alan Hershowitz Extet.
There it is.
Same as Havana.
With the Alan Hershowitz Extet. So that's going to be the features here today. Stay tuned, and because we're going to go live in just a little while. The groups will be here at what time?
11 o'clock the music starts.
11 o'clock the music starts.
And they're going to do the ribbon cutting right now, right?
Yes.
We're going to stay live. We're not going to go
Okay,
off
so
before
we're
the
going to go over
ribbon
to the ribbon cutting and go through that. And stay tuned with us.
All right. How about that?
Great, man. This is fantastic to be here and do this live via Connecting Culture Show. By the way, thank you, Mr. Glendon Gross, first trumpet for the Alan Hershowitz Band.
Yes.
And, renowned in his own right. You guys will get to hear him in a little bit.
So is it happening over there across the street?
Yep, that's where.
Wow, I hope we didn't miss it.
So we're still rolling, ladies and gentlemen. Here's where the ribbon cutting is going to be. Now this is part of the festivity. That's one of the main things that happens here. The ribbon cutting is a symbol of the opening of another festival here.
And actually, this is a park dedicated to Charles Mingus.
And there you go. This park is.
Good morning, everybody.
He was born here.
Take your seats or your place so we can begin. Well, you can stand or sit, Chris.
No, yo tampoco. That's a good place for you. Right here. The sun gets the color.
Good morning, and welcome all of you. Test.
It's great, Jack. Higher. A little bit higher.
They're messing with the sound. Okay, that's good. Good morning and welcome all of you. Thank you so much for being here with us today to dedicate the Mingus Memorial Park. I'd like to recognize our local officials who had so much to do with this. Mayor Garino, Vice Mayor Esther Melendez Lopez, Councilwoman Lisa Montiel, Councilman Joe Diaz, Councilman Hector Bojorquez, Councilman Saulo Bonillas, Councilman Octavio Gradias, Deputy City Manager John Kissinger. I think that's all from the city. Welcome. It took a village and 10 years to build this memorial to honor the incomparable Charles Mingus and the African American history of our community. Our late president, Yvonne Ervin, dreamt of a tribute to honor Charles Mingus as he was born here on April 22nd, 1922. She went to the then and current mayor, Art Garino, and asked him if he would be behind this project. He liked the idea, and he said, "I'll give you a piece of land." So they actually came over and they did a little dig. I believe we have the shovel from 2012 when this project started. So the board began fundraising, seeking donations, writing grants. Meanwhile, we were running a yearly jazz clinic at Nogales High School where we invited all the county middle schools and high schools to participate together with jazz professionals for a day and practice what they know and just work together. We also sponsored a yearly Mingus Hometown Festival, and I'd like to thank David Jung for allowing us to use his awesome building across the street where the stage is set up today. Also, Mr. Alfredo Velasquez, our county school superintendent, has supported us in every single activity we have done. If students were involved, he was in. Representing that office today is Chris Young. Those of you who live here probably saw the first walls go up and then nothing for 3 years. We were working behind the scenes to get everything prepared. We had a plan. Students had submitted drawings for the mosaics. Our artist and project manager, Faith Posey, had drawn the image of Charles Mingus that you see here, and the granite was engraved in Tucson by a granite engraver, and we were ready to go, finally. And then COVID hit. About a year into the pandemic, we thought we, the board members at least, could come start the project, as opposed to the students group that were planned. Earth Builders Construction helped us mount the largest granite stones that you see here. Faith led the way with the rest. She created the colorful tile, border tile that you see, based on African kente cloth, and masked and gloved, we followed her orders. David Fernandez, a local artist, worked with Faith outside in her carport, along with the students, to create the mosaics that are mounted on the outside wall. Our friends, Charles Young and Doug Woody Woodard, Buffalo Soldier descendants, are they here?
They're across the street.
They're setting up across the street. They came and installed the plaque commemorating the Buffalo Soldiers. They came last summer in the heat in full uniform. We really appreciated that visit. Thank you, gentlemen. I must thank Hermosa South 32. Is anybody here from mine? Oh, hi, Yvonne. Thank you. Please extend our gratitude. Both Hermosa South 32 and Arts of Tucson were flexible because nothing could have gone as planned. When you write a grant, it has to be exactly as planned, and nothing went as planned. But they trusted us to do what we could do when we could do it. So we are grateful for that. Recently, we were very fortunate to receive a grant from the National Association of Realtors, which provided funds for benches and tables, which will be reinstalled next week. I have to tell those representatives, they were here, but we extended the concrete and they will be reinstalled next week. So visiting from the National Association of Realtors from Tucson, Liz Recchia from Phoenix, and local members Adeseli Stout, Dora Dexter, Barbara Mendoza, and Sabrina Kaysen. Thank you. A few weeks ago, Mayor Garino and our council members generously voted unanimously to allocate funds to put the finishing touches on this memorial. Renee Travers, Director of Parks and Recreation, is heading this operation with a crew of amazing city workers. The river rock is on back order. The landscaping will follow. Keep an eye out every time you pass by. It's just going to keep getting better. There's more to come. At this time, please let me introduce our hardworking board members, Ken Tittlebaum, Manny Huerta, Bob Linero, Faith Posey, Kiki Rodriguez, and Alan Hershowitz. Members at large of Santa Cruz Advocates of the Arts, Evan Quarry, Bob Feynman, George Hardesty, and Sam Saunders. I have two more city folks. I see City Attorney Mr. Michael Massey is here and Deputy County Manager Mr. Kissinger. Both here and from the performance stage today, people will be speaking about the genius of Charles Mingus. He was one of the most talented composers in the history of jazz, and you will be able to hear some of his music played today at this centennial celebration. On behalf of Alfredo Velasquez, we're going to begin with Chris Young, who's going to say a few words and award our artists a stipend for their contributions to the memorial. Chris?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Chris Young. I'm here on behalf of County School Superintendent Alfredo Velasquez. This was a big deal for him. He really wanted to be here. He called me this morning and said that some things had happened and he's a little bit under the weather, so he wasn't able to make it. So I'm here. I apologize for that. Everybody loves his speeches. He gets emotional. He cries. And every time, right? But I'm here, and he sent me the words that he wants to say. They're little black and white, which isn't his style. So I'm going to tell a personal story before I get to his words. So my father, he was a music teacher, okay? He went to school to be a music teacher, and he was a music teacher for a few years, but he always had a side gig. He was a jazz band musician. So he played dance jobs for 30 years until my mom told him that was enough. We don't need the money. You're just doing it for fun now, right? You should be at home. So I have 4 older brothers. I'm the youngest and by far the most spoiled. And so all of us were, well, the first ones enjoyed it, right? But I would consider we were forced to take piano lessons. We were forced to be in band, right? And I let him know it every time I had to go to piano lessons. I let him know it. My band teacher, I was a nightmare for him, right? If it was sports related, I'm there. If it was music, you know, I let my dad know it. And so I didn't do as much in music as my brothers did. They did a traditional halftime of the football game. They play in the band, and they played in band their entire high school, and then continued playing a little bit after high school. And of course me, no, because the last one, the youngest, is the most spoiled, that you don't have to do everything, right? But when I got to college, guess what elective I picked? Piano. Right? And that I wanted to tell that story because that's really what this memorial is about and this event. You're remembering the past, but really what you're doing is you're putting that spark for the future, right? Even if they aren't smart enough to know it at the moment, it has that impact and that influence. So I just wanted to congratulate Sharon, Santa Cruz Advocacy for the Arts, and everybody here for doing this, because in our office, we do everything we can do to help kids. And these types of things, when the kid drives by, walks by and goes, hey, what's that? And people explain it, they may not realize it in the moment, but it's a big deal, and later on they will. So I just wanted to tell that story and say thank you for doing this. All right, so here's Mr. Velasquez's words, and I apologize that I'm reading from a phone. All right, so imagine me squeezing and sweating, okay? I apologize, my nose decided to run a little bit. All right, so here we go. Good morning, everyone. I want to take this opportunity to thank Santa Cruz Advocacy for the Arts, Board of Directors, especially Faith Posey, their commitment and dedication in finishing the Mingus Memorial. I especially would like to thank Sharon Ervin for pursuing the necessary funding to ensure this project was completed in time for this weekend celebration and honoring jazz musician Charles Mingus. I also would like to recognize and thank a couple of high school students for their contributions to the Mingus Memorial Project. Your artwork provided the intricate detail to make this memory very special. I greatly appreciate you being involved in this project and giving back to our community through your art. At this time, I'd like to acknowledge these young artists. Please come up when I call your name. First of all, Alexa Landeros. Right there, huh? Margarita Limon. Florentina Siqueiros. And Sabrina Manson. At this time, I'd like to thank artist David Fernandez for his contributions to the project. Your art honoring Charles Mingus will be here for many years for people to appreciate and value your work to this memorial. Thank you for sharing your talent and being a mentor to the young artists that we just recognized. Come on up, David. Everyone enjoy the phenomenal talents of our Rio Rico and Nogales High School musicians that we're going to have performing, and thank you for being here and representing your educational communities. Thank you.
Is Mr. Eric Mingus here yet? Yes. Good morning, Eric Mingus, honored guest, who's Charles Mingus' son, visiting us here from Albuquerque.
Well, this is awkward. I just literally pulled up. I've never been here before, so it's a bit heartbreaking because I really wanted to be here with Yvonne Ervin, who is right up there now. Yvonne, not only being like a real supporter of my father's music and, you know, getting this memorial done, supported me in a way that I've told some people last night. She moved to New York for a while and had to get an apartment, and she needed it painted. So she hired me to paint it. I'm a good painter. That was not one of those, oh, it's Charles's son, let's give him a job. I'm actually a good painter. So she had this dream that she saw through, and it's just amazing to be here. And I'm also kind of like, you know, as we were pulling in, going, wow, man, this is the view, you know, the landscape that my grandfather, you know, was here, you know, and I remember my dad was born, so I'm not supposed to be the emotional one, right? Like that, you're the emotional one. So, you know, and I totally became, you know, I didn't write a speech, I didn't, you know, it's just really a pleasure to see this happen, to have this. It means a lot. It means a lot to me, and my brother Charles, my sister Kikai. We lost my brother Dorian and Eugene in the past couple of years. I wish we could all be here to see this, and kind of, the Mingus family is kind of like many families. Actually, it's very funny that you're saying, well, Charles Mingus was a complicated man. Who of us is not? You know, really. And then he goes, and then they say, he was complicated, he could be volatile and angry. Well, honestly, we all can be at any given time. I kind of, you know, I get really taken aback by this angry man of jazz label my father has, which I think is completely unfair, because he was about embracing life and enjoying life, and people who really knew him know that, you know, and you know, and pursuing a dream and making it happen, and being so focused, so being passionate about your art and being passionate about what you do in life. And sometimes you bump heads with people to see your passion through. You know, I'd like to start the campaign to get Buddy Rich to be called the angry man of jazz, to be honest, because I've met that man several times and he was really angry. And I always thought to myself, you know, he's, you know, I don't know his background, so I apologize to his family, but you can live with it for a while. Because he was just always angry and miserable every time I saw him. You know? So, anyway, actually, nobody deserves that title. My apologies to people, but, you know, like, let's embrace the music, you know, let's embrace the laughter, let's share that with the children, let's share that with everyone. Really looking forward to spending a little bit of time here, and really getting to know people, and honestly, my grandfather, I've been told, was a staff sergeant in the Buffalo Soldiers, so I want to learn more about that, because of all the things, everybody always just focuses on my dad, so I want to get a little more deeper family history. But a pleasure to meet you, a pleasure to see you all, and to see this, and really see Yvonne's and everyone's focus to make this happen. And Alan, thank you for, you know, steering me this way, and it's been a great riding. We did this tour into this town has been amazing. So, I mean, please, you know, when the band plays, you know, dive right in and let it take you. Anyway, much love to you all. That's an improvised speech. That's what you get.
Charles Mingus' son. Great speech. Sure, it was heartfelt like always. When it's your dad that's being honored here now.
Not yet. Okay, our next speaker is Dr. Dolores Rivas Bhatti, PhD, from a research associate from the University of Arizona, a professor in the departments of Spanish and Portuguese, and daughter of Major Biggs, a longtime Nogales resident and former Tuskegee Airman. Dolores?
Thank you very, very much for everything that is happening today. I want to just share a brief memory, my relationship with this morning, and then a poem song I wrote for Charlie Mingus. At Sunday Mass in 1974, when we celebrated my grandparents' golden wedding, I saw my grandfather, retired Master Sergeant Levi Biggs, seated amid his still in uniform sons and darling daughter. "Father, these are my sons," he said, to the priest who welcomed them to their pew. I imagined a universe of suns, moons, and constellations of children. I am the firstborn daughter of their firstborn son. My father and his brothers enlisted in the fledgling Air Force and served tours of duty nearby and far away. He returned to Nogales after my mother's death to heal a grieving heart and to care for his parents. He undertook to honor every family member's sudden or anticipated passing. He learned military and religious mourning rituals. He organized services of remembrance and commemoration, and at dawn visited veterans' graves on Memorial Day, Flag Day, 4th of July, and Veterans Day. I celebrate Nogales events this year that focus upon or in their programs include historic African American contributions to Nogales and Santa Cruz County. I was heartened in January by our mayor's pledge to dedicate funds to preserve and maintain the dignity of our old men in the Nogales City Cemetery. And so take this moment to share an offer of support by the newly dedicated George Washington Biggs Resilience Center at Davis-Monthan Air Force Base. With these words, I honor sax player and U.S. Poet Laureate Joy Harjo, and now offer my poem song to Charles Mingus Jr., Buffalo Soldier descendant and Nogales native son. This poem is for Charles. Mingus brings us to celebrate milestones in his century since birth, and to honor men who among them counts the quartermaster seed of this master of quarter notes and counterpoint. Accolades ring round rose in other colored worlds for mythic Mingus versions of God's angry men. Notorious cipher of the written word, painter, poet, activist, pianist, bass prodigy, jazz archetype of the black superhero is Charlie Mingus. In this place where he first drew breath, color radiates as prismatic, refracted border light. Mosaic monument by young and learned hands, so beautiful. Intricate and intimate, like Mingus music, like his life and mind. Move upward and onward in real time from this realm of recall. Trace grave remains of stalwart soldiers and their families. Like players of jazz, honor reverential reverie. Take measure of overlapping lives in interrupted time. All hail Mingus in Nogales, this Sonoran desert site of origin and return. Mingus is genetic memory become pain, in art become love. Thank you.
That was beautiful. Thank you, Dolores. Okay, next we have Alan Hershowitz, Mingus Project board member and wife of our late president, Yvonne Ervin. Alan? What did I say? Oh, Alan, husband.
Changed your sex there for a minute. By the way, thank you for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. Hacienda High.
Well, hello, everybody.
Myra, hello. Thank
so
you
much
for
has
tuning
been
in.
said already about Yvonne, about Mingus, about this memorial. I just want to bring my own personal note of experience that of all the things that Yvonne did in the world of jazz, which are many and storied, this was the thing that she thought would be her most long-lasting and signature achievement. And she had the vision for it, she had the drive for it. She was the driving force, and she put her driving force into that shovel over there. That's the actual shovel that broke the ground that you're sitting on. and it still has the dust and dirt from this site. So I am giving this now to Santa Cruz Advocates for the Arts and for the Mingus Project for your records, and to bring it full circle, because in 1993, Yvonne came here with the Border Project, and she had a performance of Mingus's great work Epitaph. And she brought Jack Walrath, who unfortunately can't come today, but he sends his regrets, and other people who had worked with Mingus to play here, and over the years brought many Mingus alumni and Mingus advocates to play here, including Charles McPherson and Dynasty Band, who will finish up our sets today. And now with her picture up there, what started with an epitaph from her ends with one. And this was her dream, and I'm very happy that it has finally come to fruition. So thank you.
Okay, we're going to have some words from our mayor, Arturo Garino, and the official proclamation. Mayor?
Good morning. I mean, I heard a lot of good stories. But I've been involved with this since actually about 2011. And there's some people in the audience that I want to actually congratulate. I can't believe they're still here. One of them is Manny Huerta. He was one of the first. Mr. Rodriguez, he was here. The only one that's missing is Arno Montiel. He used to go to my office a lot. And he says, you have to find a place so we can do the memorial. And I said, I'm trying to find a place. I came walking to this spot here with Mr. Kissinger. He was a deputy city manager, and we talked with the engineer, and he mentioned that manhole. And then he mentioned fiber optic. And I said, well, which one can we move? He says, none. So I said, well, we got to use this spot. He says, why? Because right here where the bank is at, that's actually the entrance to Camp Little. And there's pictures of that area being actually where there was an auditorium and a theater, and where they played music for the Buffalo Soldiers at the time. And so we decided that this was going to be the place. And I remember bringing Arnold over here, and I don't know if you came with me, Manny, at the time. And we said, this is going to be the spot. But at the time, the council that was there actually accepted a public-private funding for this area, which means that the city puts property and puts some funding in kind, and then the organization would put the other part. I'm kind of sad that it took 10 years.
Okay.
Kind of sad because it shouldn't have taken 10 years. But it's a beautiful day today to actually be part of this, and I'm glad that I'm back as mayor. And I want to thank the members of the city council that are with us, that we got an opportunity to do this, and also an opportunity to fund some more money for it, so that we can continue improving this little corner of Nogales for such a great person, and for the Buffalo Soldiers. And with that, I'll read the proclamation. Whereas Charles Mingus, a world-renowned musician, composer, poet, and civil rights activist, was born in Nogales, Arizona, this being the centennial of his birth, and whereas Charles Mingus was born in Camp Little, where his father, Sergeant Charles Mingus Sr., was posted, serving with the all-black 25th Infantry and 10th Cavalry Regiments of the U.S. Army known as the Buffalo Soldiers. And whereas many of the Buffalo Soldiers established families and put down roots in Nogales after their terms of service, whereas African American businesses, civil groups, and pioneer families contributed to the rich array of culture in Nogales. Members of these families and their descendants were outstanding citizens of this community. Whereas it is important for the citizens of Nogales to recognize and preserve the history of the historical African American presence in the area. Whereas this Mingus Memorial was built in honor and memory of the legendary Charles Mingus, the Buffalo Soldiers, and the Nogales African American families past and present. Now, therefore, I, Arturo Garino, Mayor of the City of Nogales, Arizona, do hereby dedicate this Mingus Memorial Park on April 23rd, 2022. Thank you. Oh, big scissors.
Okay, can we have the ribbon up here? We're going to do the ribbon cutting ceremony.
These are big scissors.
Yes, that's for a big guy.
And ladies and gentlemen, as they've mentioned, this is a rich
Yes, sir, I'm going to go over there.
town of Mingusism. His music, his children, his family, his grandparents,
No, I think the council members can.
Yes,
his
I'm
son.
going to call them, yes.
They cut, right?
Just finding my paper.
The ribbon cutting is a symbol of the dedication.
Okay, please come up and get some scissors to help us with this ribbon cutting. Vice Mayor Esther Melendez Lopez, Councilwoman Lisa Montiel, sorry.
And the honor that they feel in due
Saulo Bonillas,
in celebrating Charles Mingus
Hector Bojorquez,
Jr.
Lisa Montiel,
with the memorial and recognition
Joe
he
Diaz.
absolutely deserves.
Did I get everybody? Octavio Gradias,
All the way to the wall.
Deputy City Manager John Kissinger. Come on. Oh, he doesn't want to. Okay. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Eric, would you come back and help us out? And Dolores? And Alan?
It's kind of spread out.
And Liz Recchi, would you come up and help us also?
Mingus, I ain't afraid.
Does everybody have a spot? Wherever, just find a space, yeah, wherever. Okay, let us all together, all of us here today, dedicate this Mingus Memorial. Cut!
And there's the cutting of the Mingus Memorial. Well, I hope you enjoyed the celebration up to this point in time. We will
board
be back
members come up also, the Senate
at
Representatives,
11
the Arts
p.m.
Board members.
The music starts, and we'll be
Does
listening
anybody
to
want a piece of the ribbon?
McPherson at about 3 in the afternoon, along with Mr. Alan Lewine and his ex-tet. So, thank you for tuning in to Connecting Culture Show. Continue to tune into Connecting Culture Show in a little while, as we will celebrate along with everyone
I'm
else
sorry, Alicia.
the Mingus Memorial and McPherson Jazz Band.
Alicia is Charles Mingus' niece, and she will be selling a wonderful book that she wrote over on one of the tables over there by the stage. So the music would start soon. Please be careful crossing the street. Everybody, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Sharon.
Okay.
Need help with the rest?
Yeah. Take care of the rest. I
I will.
closed it and told them to stay tuned.
You've done a great job. Okay. So
go get my purse? Very good. How good I left it there.
So it wants me to invite people to watch, and I don't want to do that.
Well, Hacienda Lima tuned in.
Okay, well, I'll just go ahead and click invite, but what's weird, I think it should be already, did you already publish it?
No.
So that's what's weird is that there's no screen letting me to post it. They just want me to invite people. It's really bad because I want to post the thing. I don't want to just sit here and invite people to post it. So I'm just gonna kill the app because there's no other way for me to get to the other screen. Oh, there we go, finally. All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching the ribbon cutting ceremony. And I'm here with Eddie Rodriguez hosting the Connecting Culture Show. And we're here at the Charles Mingus Festival, the centennial, the 100th anniversary of the birth of Charles Mingus. And you just observed the dedication of the Charles Mingus Memorial Park. And please stick around because we're going to be live with more from the Charles Mingus Jazz Festival, which is coming up starting at 11 a.m. And my group, the group I'm playing with, Mr. Alan Hershowitz group, is scheduled to go live at 2:45, and Mingus Dynasty is scheduled to go live at 3:45, and this is Mountain Standard Time. All right, well,
Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen.
so stay tuned. We'll be right back. Wherever you tune in to get this, watch for the notification, and we'll be live again shortly. And again, thank you for watching, and thank you for being part of the dedication of the Charles Mingus Memorial Park here in the city of Nogales, Arizona. Courtesy of Eddie Rodriguez hosting the Connecting Culture Show. Thank you, Eddie. You're welcome.